Hi everyone, today we are going to talk about the problem of the system in Bogota. So as we know, the last 50 years, Bogota has suffered a big wave of immigration from a lot of several parts of Colombia. The reason, or one of the biggest reasons of that, is our civil war that made that a lot of people of the rural part go to the big city. And as Bogota wasn't prepared for this, is going to be a lot of jams in different ways of our transport system. One of these examples can be the Transmillennium, that only can afford 2 million people, and Bogota have 8 million people. So that means there is not enough to afford the amount of people that use that. Also, Bogota have a growth of 2 million of people per 10 years. That means that's going to all the years growth and grow though. That means that all the jam is going to be worse and worse and worse.
For this, we have to know the problems that the transport are the bad conditions of streets bring to Bogota. It seems to be very difficult to transport around the city because the traffic, because the bad conditions of the streets, and because the transport is too crowded and too difficult to get into the buses or into the cars or into the different things that our transport system offers to us. At first we have to know that in Bogota lives around 8 million people, so it's too difficult to deal with the transport daily, and around 67% of population transport or on public transport, and these that do that it's very difficult to get public transport. So people wait more than 20 minutes waiting just a transport, and because of the traffic it's take like 2 hours to get into the university or into their jobs, and this is a big problem in the city. The Transmilenio can afford like every population that want to to transport around the city, and around 57% wait 2 hours to go to their houses or to their work or to the university.
Now I'm going to, talk about my history regarding to this problem. In my neighborhood, principally, the streets are very small and full of dirt. And one day, when I was returning to my house riding my bicycle, a big car appeared. I guess it could be a truck, because there we have a lot of necessities, but we have a bad system of transportation. Well, I remember when I was near to the worst part of the street, that car get closer and closer to me, and it lose the control, principally for the mud between the wheels. So it touched me, and for a moment I was near to death, because in a second the car was near to crush me. So that causes a huge problem in my neighborhood and also in Bogota. So it's bad for us and it's bad for me, that because in that time I decided to stay in my home, and it creates problem for my work and for my job and also for my university. So it's difficult to live with that problem here in Bogota, because you don't know when you can die or be affected by the street problem. I stopped to be a better citizen, so I hope that this problem could change.
Well, as we said before, there are a lot of factors that harm us as a society. The first step that we can do to solve that kind of problems that we have is we are social and audiovisual communicators. So we can make a lot of different kind of videos or make a use of different networks to contribute to our society. So first, with our first proposal of make this problem better, is to make a videos that can change the minds of the people. As for example, they can start to use the correct form, the traffic lights. And second, we can make, as I said before, the use of networks to make some kind of campaigns to prevent the risk of, for example, the bad conditions of the roads, and try to use more the transport. As another solution is that as the level of the people use the public transport, they are going to change their minds to try to drive correctly, try to respect the pedestrians and also the cyclists, and that can change the minds of our culture and our society, and we can make a better life to our children, and we can also make a example of the correct way to be in this society.
Be part of the solution and don't be part of the problem. Make a change.
Please be a good citizen, but also please be critic with your state, because there is the solution. They are the principal responsible of that type of problems. Thank you.
Don't be afraid to be part of the solution. Makes Bogota a better city.
Here in Bogota, we have a phrase that can be represented of our transport that says inteligencia vial. If you can make or you can be part of the change, just try to remember that phrase and you are going to see the changes.